Some secrets are buried so deep, even the people closest to you don't know the full truth. But what happens when those secrets start to surface? Years after you think everything is settled. What if you discover that your family's past is nothing like you thought? This is the shocking story of how my father's late-night confession uncovered a family secret that changed everything. And the twists that followed, they'll leave you speechless. It happened one quiet evening, years ago, when I was still living with my parents. My dad came home late after a long day. He wasn't usually one for drinking, but that night something seemed off. He poured himself a drink and sat down in the dimly lit living room, staring into his glass. I remember asking if everything was okay, and that's when he told me something I wasn't prepared for. He looked me dead in the eyes and said, "There's something I've never told you. Your grandmother had a family before she had us, and your mom, she was part of the reason it all fell apart." I thought he was drunk, talking nonsense, but his face told a different story. I could see the pain in his eyes, something he had never shown before. As my father spoke, the pieces began to fall into place. He told me about my grandmother, Maria, and a life before she became the woman we knew. She had 3 daughters, all from a previous marriage, before she met my grandfather. And the shocking part? Her first husband wasn't just a man from the past, he was an abusive monster. My father never wanted to talk about it, and neither did my mom. They both agreed that it was something best left in the past, but that night, my dad couldn't keep it inside any longer. He told me that Maria had run away from that life, leaving her daughters behind. She moved far away, changed her name, and started fresh. No one knew about her previous family, not even us. The conversation ended that night without any further details. My dad refused to talk about it after that, and over the years, I learned to live with the fact that there was more to our family's story than we'd ever been told. But everything changed when my grandmother passed away. A few weeks later, a letter arrived. It was addressed to me in elegant handwriting, but it wasn't from anyone I recognized. It was from someone named Rebecca, and the letter started with, "I think you should know the truth about our mother." My heart skipped a beat. Rebecca? Who was this? I opened the letter carefully, and what I read left me speechless. Rebecca was one of my grandmother's daughters, the one my grandmother had left behind when she ran away all those years ago. She explained how Maria had tried to reach out to them, but her abusive ex-husband had always blocked her. Rebecca, along with her sisters, had grown up without any contact from their mother. But what shocked me even more was Rebecca's next line. "We found out who you were when your grandmother died, and we've been looking